Hello, YNABers. My name is Jesse Meekum, and this is podcast number 390 for YNAB, where we teach you 4 rules to help you stop living paycheck to paycheck, get out of debt, and save more money. Last week, we discussed Rule 1, word for word, give every dollar we didn't discuss a job. Give every dollar job. If we were to do it kind of caveman style, give every dollar job. And that is budgeting. Rule 2, embrace your true expenses, is just a subset of Rule 1, if you think about it. You're giving every dollar a job with Rule 1, and some of those jobs will be to take larger, less frequent expenses and break them down into monthly, manageable, bite-size, normal, boring, doable amounts. That's Rule 2. You embrace your true expenses. You embrace them. You recognize. If you ignore someone, you turn your back on them, you look away, you're definitely not embracing, you're ignoring, you're shunning. You're shunning something. So when that life insurance premium comes due or Christmas comes due, you like how I said it like that? That's the appropriate way to talk about Christmas. Or that vacation comes due, whatever it is. Most of the time we've turned our back on these things, kind of hidden our head or put our head in the sand or clouds, one of the two, but not in reality. And then it sneaks up on us, and we are basically shunning these expenses. I don't want to have anything to do with you. No, thank you. But if you embrace your true expenses, recognizing that the roof will wear out, the heater fuse will blow. That happened to me a couple weeks ago. Now I know how to change a fuse next time, so I'll be able to save $162. But you embrace. You recognize the reality of the situation. Things wear out, and they must be replaced if you would like to still have them, like a roof or a car or tires for that car or a transmission for that car or rubber flooring for your van so that you could power wash the floor more effectively, as a hypothetical. Now, when you embrace, it means that you accept, right? But you accept maybe with some love, and it means that we don't hate these expenses. We embrace them, we love them, we accept them, we maybe even want them, like a vacation or Christmas or any of those positives. But sometimes there's that weird uncle that you embrace and you love him, but he's weird, and that's more like the roof needing to be replaced or the AC unit going out, things like that. Embrace those that you love and those that you find a little weird and necessary. Embrace them nonetheless. You got to be ready for them. Don't shun them. Don't turn around. Don't look the other way. Look at all of your outflows. Pull out your bank statement. Go online. Don't pull out a paper statement. My word. Don't do that. Just look online. Scroll back through 90, 180 days of transactions and watch for the larger transactions and ask yourself if that will recur. And it most likely will. So go with that as your rule. This expense, that was a one-off. No, it wasn't. There are very, very few one-off expenses. Very few. I actually can't think of one off the top of my head. Every expense is a recurring expense. They just happen to be larger and less frequent than others, but they still recur. So, take those, divide them by 12, or whatever the frequency may be, whether it's every 12 months, every 3 months, you get the drift, and be ready for it with a monthly bill for the braces that you know your 6-year-old will need, bless her heart, or the vacation that you would love to take, or the tires that you know are wearing out, or the replacement of the thingamajig because there are weird noises coming from the van, that kind of thing. Embrace your true expenses. We say true because they are reality. Pretending you don't have those expenses is not reality. And that's why there's that gap between what you make, which is an adult amount, and what you're actually spending, which is right up to what you make. Excuse me. And you wonder why you aren't getting ahead when you say, I make an adult amount of money and I look at my expenses, you're doing your monthly math, figuring it all out. And it looks like you have some room. So you add money to your savings account, add money to your savings account, and then you raid the savings account like it's a revolving door. Savings walks in, savings walks out. Is it called savings when it leaves? I don't think so. It's just money. So savings walks in, money walks out. Savings walks in, money walks out. And you wonder why you can't get ahead. It's because replacing that computer will happen again and again and again. So you want to give purpose to that savings. You want to give purpose to that debt that you accrued because you weren't ready for that expense. And what's weird is you end up not really needing much of an emergency fund, maybe month, 2, 3, depending on job volatility, because you've started to look at those expenses that used to be emergencies, like your tires wearing out, and then saying, oh, well, no, I'll just save up for that. So your emergency fund, air quotes, becomes broken down, rule one. Every dollar inside that emergency fund has a job, and they're all called for, spoken for. There are trade-offs happening inside that. You become much more aware of what exactly your money is doing, what it was doing, and what it will need to do. And then, when you're going back to rule one and you're measuring everything and doing those trade-offs with current needs versus those future needs that used to be just emergencies, when you're doing those trade-offs, suddenly going to buy sushi doesn't seem nearly as important as being ready for the roof repair. Even though you've never done that calculus before, where your wife says, hey, we should do sushi, and you think, well, what about the roof? No one ever thinks that, because there's always enough money. We'll always cover it with something, usually debt. And that's where the problems come up. No one ever does the calculus where you say, hey, do you want to go do this? And you look and say, oh, but Christmas. And they're like, dude, it's May. You say, yeah, exactly. I got 6, 7 months to go. That's where the power lies in rule 2, is you're doing this now evaluation against future evaluation, and you're thinking about your future, your future self, and you're throwing them a bone and saying, hey, I don't want to leave you high and dry. Here you go. Merry Christmas. That's rule 2. Now needs versus future needs, balanced through the lens of your own very unique priorities as head dictator of the universe as it relates to your money. Until next time, follow YNAB's 4 rules and you will win financially. You've never budgeted like this.